Hi, welcome to the 20th BOH Cameronian Arts Award on set. With me today are the nominees of the Best Group Performance in Dance. We have Sumathi, Gowri, and Shan Tie and Hafzal. Let me start by asking you, was it challenging to work in a group? What do group performance have taught you so far?
I'll start first. So for my piece, which was from the KonTra Yuèguāng production, lines, circles and cycles, I think the challenging thing, right, is about giving and taking. So especially for my piece, I did not have any countings whatsoever. So it was really about listening to each other and trying to find that synergy between one another. So the dancers really have to try and give and take with each other on who should lead and who should listen. Yeah.
Wow, that is a really great round. Very brave of you. But how about you guys?
Well, for us, the challenging was in Pragati too, we had a lot of numbers of dancers on stage. So to manage the dancers and, their schedules and making sure that they are all there for the dance and all that.
You say that they're not all professionals?
No, they are not all professionals. They all either students or they have their own jobs and all that. And also the challenge is, Indian classical dance, we have our, everything is like, our symmetrical lines and everything has to be very coordinated. It's not like a free flow lines like that. So, if the hands all has to be a certain level, then everybody has to maintain that level. So to get everyone to that level is a challenge for us. So that takes a lot of practice.
Did it take a long time?
Yes, we did. We spent quite a few number of months to rehearse with them. And also because our choreography was based a lot on color patterns. So we had to make sure that, it worked well. So there was a lot of changes, something that doesn't look nice, then we have to keep changing them. So that is also a challenge because not all students have the same capability and aptitude. Some of them are versatile, some of them are not. So we have to adhere to so many different kinds of students, but still making sure that what the audience receive is uniformity and
all as well.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes. What about you, Hafzal?
For Jamu 2024 is quite different this last year because previously we just did a whole production with the mixed bill productions. So and then last year for Jamu 2024 we brought a new, I think the second time or the first time we did a full length choreography which involved more than 2 or 3 choreographers. We are 6 choreographers, I think 7 choreographers and 1 artistic director with the advisor of Latin Marians. So what is the most challenging part in this performance is that on how to coordinate the diverse ideas and also in terms of the dancers, because most of the dancers they are all still students. Of course, we did an audition for all of them, and then we tried to choose the best dancers to fit the idea, the idea of the production. I think that's the most challenging, Shan.
Wow. For me, then it's quite challenging listening to you to have so many ideas from different choreographers to make into one length.
Yes, one.
Do you actually overcome that?
So that's what makes it easier for us is that we have to have a very great collaboration and we have to trust and also communicate with all the choreographers to come into a specific direction for the full production. For the final performance.
So put ego aside.
Yes. I know most choreographers because we're choreographers, sometimes our forte or our the way we choreograph is different, the way our vision, the way we visualize something is different. But at the end, we try to that's a challenging part, I think. Yeah.
So that's also taking risks though, right? What was the most daring choice you made in this production? Because just now, Shan Tie tell us that her challenges was to actually have no count. That was the challenge.
Yeah.
So what about yours?
Okay. How about because in this production, Jamu 24, we selected 11 dancers only. So the risk is that we have sometimes we need more dancers to convey the message over something. But this time we selected 11 dancers. And with different background and then how we inject the emotion, expression, because different dancers have different background and also how they perform and all that. So it's quite difficult. It's quite challenging also. Yeah.
So do you think the result come out to the perfection?
Yes, sometimes in contemporary dance, I think we sometimes the unconnected or disconnected things that make it like connected. And also it feels like maybe it's not seamless or it's not smooth, but I think it's deliberately like performed as what we wanted for. Yeah.
So what about Pragati too? What's the most daring choices that you made?
I think it's what Sumathi told earlier. Like all our dancers who dance, they are part-timers. Some of them are just lower secondary school. So they have not had much stage exposure except for the once a year Navratri performance. So to bring them up to a performing level, it took a lot of time. And we gave our time, literally lived in Temple of Fine Arts, but we had to suit according to their timing because they come with different tuition timings and that and this, and trying to ensure that they managed to hit it. And I think they did. And actually what I saw is that those who decided to perform and commit and become committed to the performance, when they came back to the class, you could see a difference in their they grew in that performance. So that was very fulfilling to see.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I think just to add on, I think we have also, like this time in Pragati too, we have also chosen pieces that are very demanding.
Yeah.
Certain pieces, demanding pieces that I think some of our students have never even touched base on, certain roles and all that. But we were thoroughly surprised at it. We never actually realized the full capacity and potential of what our students can give us. So that was really a surprising element and a learning curve for us also.
Also must be so happy then.
Yeah, yes, definitely proud. A lot of hard work put in by the students. You see, when we take rehearsals, both of us see it together because her eye sees something, my eye sees something. So when we work together, that is what Pragati happened. The different strengths coming together. Yeah.
For you, besides taking the risk that you said earlier, do you actually took other risks as well?
Yes, I did. So the other risk that I took was choosing the dynamic of the piece. So if you recall, the dynamic of the piece was very monotone.
Yes.
Which can come off as like boring, or people, if I lose
monotonous.
Yes, monotonous.
It's one tone.
I really stuck to it, and I'm glad I did because it translated to the correct people, to the audience that I wanted to translate to. They really understood it. Like I said earlier, the whole thing behind my piece is about waves, and tidal waves specifically doesn't really change unless it's like tsunami and whatnot. But because I chose tidal waves, it's actually monotonous.
What makes dance the most powerful form of expression in today's world?
Dance definitely is a medium of language that cannot be spoken with words, and it cannot be understood that easily also. So it takes one to communicate with dance, and it also takes one to understand with dance. I will say, if I were to connect to myself, I'll say I'm in a stage where if you're able to move your body for that day, it feels very happy. You feel a happy feeling. So I suppose, and people are coming from different walks of life, different situations. So when they come, I'm just talking about class-wise, when they come to class and they start moving their body, there's blood circulation happening. They go back feeling very happy. So I suppose for the audience also, when they watch that, they coming from different background, maybe stressful work or issues in the house. And then they watch a performance and, you find that something is just getting released from them. Yeah. And that is, then you have achieved as a dancer. We have produced a rasa for them.
Describe me when I come out from a dance class. This is how I actually feel. Yeah. That's good. That's right. Relate.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, like what she says, it's just a medium for me to express myself. For me, dance has always been there, like a concerning factor. And I think in especially in Indian classical dance, we can even go to the extent of being very natural in our expression. The exact feeling, we call it the stai bhava, that, the sattvic bhava, where you really cry, the emotions really come out. So sometimes as dancers, I feel like, what happens to you, it's not you're not acting on stage, or you're not just doing it for the audience, but sometimes really emoting the real feelings and expression. And I think and for me, dance, it's like, it makes me feel younger. Oh, I'm growing older. I am much older. I mean, I'm growing older, but somehow rather, it makes me feel young.
That's
The energy is always good.
fun. I love that. Back to you, Hafzal. In your opinion, what was the significance of Jamu 2024 as a production? Was there a need for it?
Okay. All right. I think it's quite challenging also because I'm also one of the new lecturers in ASWARA. And it is a new experience for me to work with the new environment and also with the production itself. The significance of Jamu 2024 is that we would like to portray a new, to go away from the conventional, from the template before. We did a mixed bill productions. So this time around, we tried to gather all the choreographers and come out with the ideas and also blend it with the creative visions. And also, I think to collaborate with the dancers also. Because I think not only the choreographers are very important, the dancers also important because they are the ones who convey the messages, all the ideas, all the vision and all that to the audiences. And I think it is very, the word that I would say is that it's very ephemeral. We had a 3-day show, but 3 days could be like different expression, the different show, even though the performance has been choreographed as what was. But I think in terms of the emotional, like we'll get back to Miss that she said that they coming back from home and they come to ASWARA for the show, and they had very different days. And we come out when they come to ASWARA and they have a different feels. And it could affect their performance on that day.
To be honest with you, I was pleasantly surprised, and it was a good surprise. I went in, I was thinking, I've seen Jamu every year, so I thought it would be the same format that they use, you know. But it was a pleasant surprise where I said, oh, wow, this is a different format. This is a very innovative format.
And also, at the same time, we also teach the students on how to develop the skills and giving the emotions during the performances. And one more, I forgot that we were using water for the performance, right? So it's very challenging because during the rehearsals, we did not, some performances, the earlier rehearsals process, we didn't use the water. But towards the performance, we use water, and the dancers, they're very worried. Because so if I were to sleep or if I were to fall, and then how? It's okay. It's just natural. Be natural. Just perform as you practice. And if you fell, then
so it does get very cold.
Yeah, it's very cold. Yes, exactly. Because the whole performance is 1 hour and something, right?
Yeah. Well, I must say they raised up to the challenge. We will submit on that. Yeah. What are the key values that shape a successful group performance?
We need collaboration, not only the choreographers and also the dancers, but also with assistant director and also advisor. And second one, we need trust, and also communication, discipline, flexibility, respect, and all that. And then all of these elements will come up with a dynamic and also somehow we say a powerful or a great performance. Because sometimes it come up with the synchronized performances.
I think for us, there is a little spiritual and element also always involved. We tell them to do that, that spiritual of devotion to the guru, devotion to the teacher, the art, so, art form, the art. Yeah. So
can you elaborate and tell us more a bit so we can understand better?
That means, you have to train the students. Many of them don't even know the culture properly. So when you just tell them, okay, this is, you have to have faith in your guru, your teacher who's teaching you. And then you have to have faith in yourself too, that you can do it. And also learning the art form, because it is a divine art form. For us, we consider...
Submit to the art.
Yes. And for us, we consider all art form, regardless whether it's Odissi or anything, every art is divine art. And that is actually, you discipline yourself. Every art form is actually self-discipline. Then only you can achieve something. So all this comes in there. Because many of the children, they don't know this thing. So you have to tell them little by little and say, no, you need to have this discipline. And also, we sort of like hold our hands together before a performance, which I believe all of you are doing. So that, I mean, it's something similar to that. And of course, we recite 1 or 2 prayers, but that holding the hands together we actually, everyone's energy comes together, the synergy, yes, exactly. See, from those days when we used to be dancers, even when we used to put on makeup,
dancer.
no, I mean, as in a performer, I teach more. And we even when we are putting makeup, we don't talk.
Yeah.
We're always thinking about the presentation or performance, but it's not like that now. The moment the students go in, they're just chatting away. So these are the little things that we try to teach them. This values, to be involved, to be in the character, even before a few hours, be in the character before you go.
Understand. And from your generation, I still get
Our generation is different. Yes.
So you have that. Yeah. So it becomes like makeup room is very noisy. So
What about you? What are the key elements that shape a successful group performance for you?
Right. So on top of everything else that they've mentioned, I really definitely do agree. But one thing I would like to emphasize on is definitely synergy, to that everyone is on the same page, and also that each dancer is satisfied with what they do. I think it's very important that the dancer feels confident. The dancer, either as an individual, as a group, and when they're as a group, also they feel confident together, they feel rewarded together, and they feel satisfied with their performance together. So for me, once my group of performers are satisfied with what they did on stage, I'm satisfied.
Wow, that's great. That's great. I actually like what she said earlier, like all art forms are divine, which is very true. Think about it, because we don't, we cannot, cultivate or just get to be artistic just like that. It has to be some sort of a divine thing that given to us, isn't it? Yeah, it's really, really powerful. I like that statement. Okay, if you had to describe the energy of your production performance in one word, what would it be?
I would like to describe my choreography in the KonTra production as calmness.
Okay, maybe for Jamu, I would say they are electric. Electric. When they perform, when we feel their emotion and also expression, it feels like charged and also alive. That's what I say.
What about yours?
I would use, for me, when I watched it, I think it was very vibrant. The colors.
I must say, yes. It was very vibrant. Yes. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. Yeah, thank you. And once again, congratulations upon your nominations. And that's all we have for today. And I will see you guys next time.